Hi everybody, welcome to the Janel Burgess Show. I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head women's basketball coach Janel Burgess. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Well, Coach, you had a tough home stretch last week against Ashland and Lake Erie, two strong teams from the South Division down from Ohio. Just kind of give us your overall thoughts on the weekend before we get into both games.
You know, I think it's interesting. I thought there were many things that we found out about our team offensively, and then I think the biggest disappointment was our lack of defense. I mean, when we gave up 81 and 75 points, the most points we've given up since the 1st of December, especially in back-to-back games, that was probably the most frustrating part of the whole time. And then obviously the most rewarding part is that we did get our offense going. It was great on Saturday to see us shoot over 50% from the field and actually see Dinah and Danny, two kids off the bench that came in and really found their role and was able to put that ball in the hole in crucial times. So that was important for us to do, especially as we come down the stretch of last 3 regular season games.
You certainly had a huge test on Thursday night against Ashland. They were number 5 in the country. They came in with a 20-game winning streak. You played well, though, the first 10 minutes. You matched them bucket for bucket. You were right there with them. They kind of pulled away towards the end of the first half and led by 12 at halftime, but I didn't think it was an insurmountable lead, but then they kind of ran off early in the second half with it. That's why they're now 22-1 with the victory against Ferris on Saturday. Just a little too much down the stretch in an 81-58 loss, but Breonna Taylor played well, 20 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. Kara Crawford had 12 points and 4 steals in that game. Talk about the loss to Ashland.
You know, obviously Ashland's a great team. There's a reason why they're 22-1. There's no doubt about it. They play very well together. They do very simple things. I mean, when you watch that game unfold as a spectator and even as a coach, it's not complex what they're doing. They are very fundamentally sound. They play very well together. And I think the best thing that you can look at that team is they know where each other is going to be, and they make each other look tremendous. And I think when you look at how we played, I thought we made them look great because we really had some lapses defensively that we shouldn't have and you can't have against the number 5 team in the nation. And that led them get into a great offensive rhythm early on. They shot the ball way too well in that first 20 minutes of the game. And then unfortunately, as the second half opened up, we saw our youthfulness kind of strike a little bit in that first 4 minutes, had some really silly turnovers that created easy points for Ashland. And once you give Ashland a little bit of room, they're going to make you look, pretty poor, pretty quick. And that's what they did. They made a 12-point lead at halftime, become a 22-point lead pretty doggone quick.
Lake Erie came in on Saturday as one of the better teams in the South Division, but you had a strong first half. We were up 39-30 at halftime, and then in a bizarre twist, they went up by 16 points. They led by 16 with less than 6 minutes left. It looked like it was over. Looked like it was just going to, kind of fold up the tent and take off. But the exact opposite happened. You guys had a barrage of 3-pointers. Breonna Taylor tied the score at 73 with a running jumper along the baseline, and then Lake Erie comes down after a timeout and hits a game-winning buzzer beater from just outside the paint, 75-73 loss. Just talk about the momentum that you guys were able to build at the end of that game, and just how quickly Lake Erie came back to strike. It was certainly an incredibly exciting game for everybody there, with you up early, then trailing, then back, and then Lake Erie gets the win at the end.
I think the tale of that game is a bunch of seniors that start for Lake Erie. 2 of those seniors got in foul trouble in the first half, which allowed us to open up a little bit of a gap. I think those 5 seniors at halftime probably got lit up a little bit, came out really on fire in the second half, and my youthfulness could not rise to the occasion in many aspects. Once again, we opened up with some really silly lack of offensive control, and that equaled easy buckets for Lake Erie. And you still go back to how well we can play and how quickly we cannot play very well. And so that's part of our growth and part of us meeting ourselves in the middle and being able to play full 40 minutes, which we did not play.
You made 11 of 16 3-pointers. I mean, so their shooting was tremendous. We look at it, Kara Crawford was 4 or 5 from 3-point range. She had 18 points. Dinah Grazoulis, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 blocks, and a tremendous all-around game from Dinah. Danny Crandall had 17 points. Breonna Taylor neared a triple-double, 11 points, 9 boards, 8 assists. There was a lot of good individual things you did. Talk about those, and especially Dinah Grazoulis, who came off the bench to just play a wonderful game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at it, what tops it all off, so we had 22 assists, I believe, is what we ended up having for that game. So we played very well in the offensive end together when we were zoned in. And then on the flip side, we had 18 turnovers, which stinks. But you look at, I mean, you talked about 4 kids there playing very well offensively. Now what we need to do is bring that back collectively and play great defense as we hit the road here and go at Findlay and at Wayne State this week. And understand, I think some of those concerns or some of those insecurities we might have had on the offensive end hopefully have vanished now after we had a couple good offensive offensive showings against two great teams from the South, and now we need to take it and we need to take our defense to heart again and continue to share the ball and move the ball as well as we did on offense. And I do know that we can get the rewards we want with wins on the road here as we head to Findlay and Wayne State.
Yeah, you're at Findlay on Thursday night at 6 p.m. They're 13-10 overall, 7-9 in the GLIAC. And then you're at Wayne State on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Wayne's 11-12 overall, 6-10 in the GLIAC. Right now, you're tied with Wayne for 9th in the GLIAC standings. However, with the GLIAC tournament, you're only one game out from the North Division to getting one of those top 3 automatic seeds from the North. So certainly this thing is not out of your hands whatsoever, and you have 2 winnable games this weekend on the road, but it's going to be a tough weekend ahead.
I mean, I think it's, this is a story of what NCAA basketball is all about. You got to be playing your best ball in February, and you got to find a way to win. And we still have the opportunity to get into that GLIAC tournament and be able to play some of our better ball down the stretch. And very excited as to where we could still go. Understand we pretty much control our own destiny in some aspects of getting into the GLIAC tournament, and it will be based on our defense and our offensive cohesiveness. And I feel very, very confident that these young ladies will continue to do what we need to do to get better. And I do believe that this week will be a good test for us, and it could have a lot of good results for us as well.
Well, 4 straight home games, and now you're back on the road, and we wish you the best of luck. Hopefully bring home a couple of victories with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Janel Burgess Show here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.